Take two.
Take two. Hello and
We're
welcome.
Claire's, I've changed positions.
I managed to get my roses in shot. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Cuppa with Katie. So we are actually doing a take two because we began our show a few minutes ago and the sound just went crazy. So we had to restart. So here we are. But us midlife women, we just... Hey, we don't sweat the small stuff anymore, you know?
Our stride. We don't actually. Honestly, the tech stuff, I'm like, you can't do anything about it at all. So getting stressed about it, what's the point? It's outside your control. Stay calm.
Totally. I feel like at the moment, my life is full of tech issues, and I really do have to just kind of go, oh well, not much I can do about it. We've done our best, you know.
But that's it, isn't it? You've done your best and you're delivering, you know, I know that your 5-day challenge, you're delivering the most beautiful content to people and you're doing it and people are getting access to that. So that's what you have to keep telling yourself. I'm giving this amazing experience. Tech gremlins are outside my control. That's it. I'm doing a great thing. I'm doing a great thing, which you are.
Thank you. And I keep reminding myself as well, whenever I start kind of cursing at Facebook, I then have to remind myself it's actually free. And like, honestly, like it's, I mean, yes, we pay for ads and we pay for other elements of pulling together a 5-day challenge, but the actual Facebook group is free tech. And it's so valuable. I'm able to reach women. I'm working with women all over the world right now. Australia, the UK, around Europe,
because of Facebook,
Mexico,
because of Facebook.
So I have to have a word with myself and say, and thank you that I have this ability to reach these people.
And thank you, but if you could just sort that out, it's really annoying.
If you could sort that shit out, that would be great.
Yeah, because it's really pissing me off.
Okay, so Claire, welcome. And obviously we'll probably delete the first one we started on. So I just want to reintroduce you. You are the Midlife Mentors. Who is the other mentor?
That'll be James, my husband.
Yes. So we both have James's as husbands, which is very fun.
Yes. Yeah. So James we work on all the midlife stuff together. We've got our podcast, which is the Midlife Mentors. And we work on the program together, but he does his own programs as well for men. And I do my own programs for women too. So come together, but
so inspiring. I think we need to get all together and get our husbands together, because my James is really intrigued at the idea of us working together when he retires from his job in a couple of years. So very exciting.
You'll make a dream team. It's really good. I mean, like we've been working together 6 years now, and it had its teething problems at first because we had very different styles.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, okay. So I want to ask you a question about how you even met James, because obviously most of my audience are single midlife women. Not all. I also coach women who are in relationships, and the majority, I would say probably 85% of my audience are single. So, and they're wondering, you know, can they do it in midlife? Is it possible for them? And there's different challenges at midlife to when we're in our 20s, early 30s. So are you happy to share your journey towards calling him in? Because
I've lost you a little bit.
I know it links very much to
I can hear you now. I've got you. You just froze a little bit there.
Okay.
Tell me the question again.
Okay. So I know that your journey to meeting your James really embodies your expertise and how you're supporting and helping women in terms of their health, well-being, hormones, fitness, all the things. So do you mind sharing your story a little bit around how you guys met?
Of course I don't. So we actually met 10 years ago over in Ibiza. And I was about to get married and he was married. So we knew each other briefly, very briefly. And then I went off and got married. That lasted a brief, fleeting moment. I got my heart broken. I'm sure, you know, I look back now, we kind of touched on this when we spoke briefly. Oh, good. Sarah's saying that sounds much better.
Yeah.
You know, I I had my heart broken, but you know, we all play our part in those breakups, right? So, but that was my experience. James's wife Kelly left him around. It was crazy. I heard on the grapevine that we're both split up with our partners at the same time, around the same time. So we didn't know each other that well. And then he started pursuing me. And I was like,
do.
but I was like, no. I had all my barriers up. I didn't love myself enough. I was put on antidepressants. I was drinking too much alcohol. I was looking after myself at all. That's what really propelled my journey really into fitness and nutrition because of my own experience. And I was on a downward spiral. I ballooned in weight. I put on a couple of dress sizes in weight. I just was very unwell in mind, body and soul. Yeah. So when I found the whole fitness thing, that was what drove that. But James and I ended up getting together. He pursued me. I was really nonchalant. I wasn't very kind to him at the beginning. And actually he then just became my friend. So he became my friend. But then I thought, you know, friends, blah, blah, blah. I was off doing my thing. You know, if you get what I mean, I was here, there and everywhere. Yeah. Oh, I'm single. Barriers up. I'm just going to do that. If men can take the mickey out of me, then I can take the mickey out of them. Very masculine, very aggressive kind of approach to relationships. And then he became my friend. And then once I started to do my healing work and bring in my feminine again and start looking after my health and my nutrition because I was worth it. Yeah. He was there anyway, but then I called him in the sense that I realized that he was everything that I had been waiting for. I just couldn't really see it very well. But he was we were friends anyway. But I think I was calling it, honestly, Katie, the truth is I've been calling him in for my whole life. Yeah. Yeah. I've been calling him my whole life. And I knew for me it would happen eventually, or I hoped it would happen eventually. And then I had the second divorce because this is my third marriage. I have my second divorce. Own
it, girlfriend. Own it.
I totally own it. Third time lucky. This is third time lucky. But you know, I after my second divorce, I was like, no, this isn't. You know, I've got it really wrong here. I've got it really wrong. The only way I called it back in was by looking after myself really, really well and seeing my patterns of behaviour, my patterns of thought, my lack of self-worth, going through a lot of therapy for past traumas and all that stuff that you totally embody, which is why I love what you do.
Thank you. Well, I love your story. I love how much you're owning it. What Sarah's saying, I'm loving your brilliant.
Oh, bless you, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you.
But that level of honesty is so important, and because it inspires women who are where you were. Like, I genuinely, I wish, like, thank God we're having these conversations now. And I absolutely love focusing my work on midlife women now, because this is an audience that didn't get a look in. Like, when I was dating, you know, I was single for 8 years. James and I met 5 years ago. So we're going back of quite a number of years. We weren't even talking about perimenopause when I first started, like, was single, and I didn't know what was going on in my body. I didn't understand how that was affecting not only how I felt about myself, but how I felt around men. It's just such a unique moment in our lives, and to be dating at this time as well is, I don't know, I'm just so glad that you've shared your story, a little bit of your story there.
Yeah. And here's the thing, that medically we can all go through perimenopausal symptoms at different times. And we all, for me, obviously I was still in my 30s when I met James, mid to late 30s, can't even remember now. Yeah. And the reason I'm so passionate, like, it actually, I get this feeling in my stomach of so much passion when I hear that midlife women are going to their, especially when you're single, it's so difficult because you do feel really alone. You don't know what's going on. You haven't necessarily got anyone to share it with. So you think, if I go to the doctor and I share it with them, like how I'm feeling, my emotions, what's going on for me, some of the physical changes, then that's someone to talk to and they'll understand. But sadly, what mostly happens is you get put on antidepressants. And there's no touching on any lifestyle factors at all. Absolutely not. You know, we are holistic beings. We are mind, body, and soul. Yeah. So if they're just putting you on chemicals to without asking you what you're doing in other areas of your life, your nutrition, your exercise, your mindset, your stress management. Like, how are you managing all this stuff in your life? Again, because we're midlifers and we're juggling everything. Yeah, that's what I feel so passionate about. That's why I want to help women around this arena in the way that you are, in a different way. But it's like, I feel so low. I don't feel like my body's mine anymore. I feel like I'm just existing. I don't know what's going on. I'm waking up in a panic every morning with high anxiety. What's going on? Yeah. And then on top of that, which is why I love this connection that we're doing, you've got so many women out there that are finding themselves single at midlife. And it's hard. And potentially, single mums bringing up their kids. Yeah. And stuff's going on with their body and their mind. And they're like, this shit is real. This is hard.
Yeah. Totally. And I love that you brought in the holistic thing because, I mean, with my work, it's very much, we do, when you say mind, body, soul, I add emotions as well. I added the emotional body as a separate, so where I see it as four. And the work I'm doing with women is very much the emotional. It's, it's the deep healing work. It's the spiritual. And of course, it's the mind, mindset, and so on. The physical side of it, that isn't my expertise. I mean, I know a lot because I've learned a lot and I apply a lot, and I manage my health and well-being very consciously every single day. And it's not my expertise, but it's your expertise. This is why this is so cool. So what was it for you and what is it for you now? And what do you see in your clients? Like, what do we need to be really aware of? What is it that you see that women don't know? And then you're like, if you just knew this about your body, if you just knew this about your hormones, it would be a game
there's so
changer.
many. There's so many.
Well,
there's so many.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
God, my goodness. The fact that one of the key things is that when we're going through perimenopause and menopause and we're dropping our estrogen, estrogen helps produce and transport serotonin. So, which is created in our gut. So most people don't necessarily know that 90% of our serotonin is created in our gut in the first place. So there's a direct link between how you fuel yourself and how you feel. That's why we say comfort eating. So serotonin is created in your gut. How you feel is directly linked to your gut health. Yeah. So when your estrogen drops, obviously that makes sense that you're getting less production of serotonin and transportation to serotonin. So of course you're going to feel more anxious. Of course you're going to feel low in mood, depressed, anxious, all that kind of stuff. One of the other things is that we become insulin resistant. So we're not able to process the sugars in our blood as effectively. So basic, and again, people think it's just like cakes and biscuits and things. No, it's high GI carbs. So high glycemic index carbs are sugar, right? So if you're becoming more insulin resistant, but you're still eating the same way that you did in your 20s and 30s, of course, sadly, your body's going to feel like it's kicking back because you can't process the sugars in your body, and most of unused sugar goes straight to the belly.
So I was literally just about to say, hello, belly fat. Yeah.
Hello, belly fat. And I call it the wine waste, beer belly for men and the wine waste for women. Because they're like, oh, I'm drinking my calories. Well, that's why I see that all the time. I'm only having about 800 calories. Well, that's terrible in itself because your muscle mass is decreasing anyway. So your metabolic rate is plummeting. You're plummeting it right down here. This becomes your basal metabolic rate down here. When you eat normally or you drink a bottle of wine at night, go straight here. Yeah. So many things. So many things. So I feel so passionate about educating because then women are like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And there's like some slight tweaks, like front load your carbs. I'm not a keto person, but front load your carbs.
What does that mean? What does front load?
In the day, front load your carbs. Don't have any carbs, really, if you can, other than veggies and things, after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Massive game changer. Women come to me and they're like, oh my goodness, I just made that one change. I was eating bread and pasta at night. No. Front load it in the day, because you need it for energy. You need it for brain function. You need it to help build muscle.
I really like pasta for dinner though, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that.
Yeah. So that's, again, it's a mindset thing. It's like when women say that to me, that's a story that we're telling, you know, about it. Yeah. It's a story we're telling ourselves. Yeah. It's I can't do that. That's what I normally do. Well, and then I just in a loving as much. Well, how much do you want it? You know, if you've got a couple of dress sizes to lose, you know, like how willing are you to put in this effort to just change this thing that will become, it's momentum breeds momentum, right? So you change that one thing and it becomes easier and easier, and that becomes normal.
Totally. Now, I know gut health is a mega topic. Okay, so we're not here to do a masterclass on gut health, but it's such an exciting topic. I mean, it really is in only very recent history that we've realized that serotonin is developed in the gut, right?
Yeah. Yes. It's crazy, right?
So could you give us 2 or 3 top tips to help us improve our gut health?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I would say is start your day correctly. So I always have like freshly squeezed lemon in some hot water with some, I was about to say the Spanish word for it then, canela. So I've completely forgotten all my English words. Now I've only been out here a few days. With some turmeric. I've got the Spanish words. So turmeric, absolutely. So have that with some freshly squeezed lemon, hot water. Have, you know, like a good, also our liver function is really, really important. So making sure you've got some milk thistle, so some droplets of milk thistle as well in there. You can drop some like liver support. That's what I always say. Have some liver support in your limoncello. Only joking. No, don't start the day like that. That's not a great idea. Just having a limoncello for breakfast. So, and then what I would say is as well, apple cider vinegar is a really, really good way so I have a shot of that every morning as well. So that's like start your morning well. With the apple cider vinegar, do you put it with water or anything, or do you have put it with a tiny bit of water, throw it down me. Yeah, but just be really, really careful that you wash your mouth out afterwards, because it can start breaking down the enamel of the teeth. So can lemon water as well. So just make sure that you've got plenty of water mixed with the lemon.
Yes. And do you add pepper to that drink to activate
cayenne pepper? No, not really. I don't. So I've just got the turmeric, the lemon water. I don't have caffeine in the morning anymore.
Right. Okay.
So I did, and I was just noticing again that I was going on this spiral, a caffeine spiral, and I thought, no, I'm gonna kick that as well, because anything that I feel like upsets the flow of my body, I'm like, okay, what is that? I'm very connected. This is one of the things that I love about working with midlife women. If we become very disconnected with our body, very, very. So it's like, what's it feeling? How's it feeling? Is it lethargic after a cup of coffee, or is it too wired? Because neither is really good. So starting off the day like that, be careful of your sugar intake. I know I've said that, but like one woman said on my menopause workshop that I did a while ago, if I gave 6 lifestyle modifications, one of them was about sugar. If there's one thing for your gut health that you take away ever, is be careful of hidden sugars in everything, because it causes inflammation of the gut, it causes depression, it causes it can end up causing type 2 diabetes, of course. The issues that we have in our gut now is by a massive overproduction of sugar and yeast. It is just like, you know, so just being really, really careful with how much sugar you're taking in. Anything, look on the back of packets, learn how to read back of packets. Anything above 23.5 grams of sugar per 100 grams is a really high sugar product. Wow. Anything below 10 is good. And just making sure that you are having plenty of leafy greens, that you're having enough fiber, again, to help with the good gut biomes enough fiber in your diet. So yeah, there's some of the tips. I mean, I could go on and on and on about the hormones and how it affects.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have what I call my power shake, which is so protein powder, because you need to have protein for every meal to trigger leptin. Leptin is your I'm full hormone. So if you don't have enough protein in your diet, you're going to feel hungrier more often. So have good quality protein. So I have a really good quality protein powder, scoop of that, a little bit of peanut butter, water. I don't have any milk, any dairy, a bit of water, chia seeds, linseeds, and berries. No bananas. Bananas are too high in sugar.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. This is hold on, what's Emma saying? That's really interesting about the enamel. Yeah, like we shouldn't drink it through a straw.
Yes, drink it through a straw, or just really make sure you're rinsing out. That's why I have it in a little cup like that. But with the lemon juice, I try and water it down quite a lot, and then just make sure that I'm swigging my mouth.
Yes.
All very elegant.
So, can you talk a little bit about hormones?
Yeah.
Like,
tell you?
I don't know. So hormonal imbalance. How do we know we've got one?
You go and get tested. Right. Actually, that's the only way you're going to know. And here's the thing. The perimenopause and menopause chat's amazing right now. Like the level good, Sarah. I'm glad it's practical. The conversation is really amazing, but what is happening is some women are self-diagnosing with perimenopause and menopause. And actually, I don't mean to scare people, but the reality is if there are some symptoms that are showing up, not all irregular periods means you're going through the perimenopause. It could be something else. So just be really, really careful that you're not self-diagnosing with perimenopause and menopause. But if your periods, you're in menopause when your periods have stopped for a whole year. That's medically how long, it will be before you're medically in menopause. But if you're starting to feel things like you're starting to have the hot flushes, you're starting to have irregular periods, chances are you are starting to go through the perimenopause. If you're having brain fog, if you're having vaginal dryness, if you're having like dry eyes and your hair's getting a bit thinner, chances are you're going through the perimenopause. So how do you know is absolutely the only medical way, and I'm quite practical with stuff like this. I'm very science-based, right? Go and get tested. What I would say is I've been tested by the NHS.
But their levels of normal are different to...
We said that when we spoke, didn't we?
Yeah.
They said my testosterone levels were really high. Don't think that's because I lift weights a lot. I don't know, but I'm not at a place now where I'm like, I want a second opinion. I'm okay where I'm at the moment. I've got a few symptoms, but I'm okay where I'm at right now. But I would go to a women's hormone specialist. I'm not one. I don't test. I don't test for hormones. Go to a women's specialist. Oh, bless you, Emma. Going to watch this again to write everything down as I have that wine waste. Bless you. Bless you.
I love Emma.
Listen, we can get, it's reversible. It really, really is. But it's about awareness and being really compassionate with yourself as well. Like we can't change what we don't know. So.
Totally. When we spoke the other day, you were talking something about the importance of healthy boundaries. And it felt like there was a link between your expertise around health and fitness and boundaries. Is there? What's your angle on that?
Because this is saying I'm worth this. Not everyone else is as more important than me, right? And this is what you teach. I haven't known you for that long, but I know this is what you will teach. It's like you cannot give from an empty vessel. Like if you are failing to prioritize, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission. And this is where women in midlife we're just the worst at this. Bless us. Giving ourselves permission to put ourselves first and find joy and meaning and fulfillment in the things that we love to do. And there's a direct link to boundary setting and wellness, because without your wellness and without your health, you have nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you have nothing.
Yeah.
So it's it's the complete opposite. It's the complete reverse of what most women think. It is not selfish to invest in their health. It is the complete opposite. Because what kind of role model are you being if you have children, that you're completely scattered energy? Your energy is everywhere.
Yes.
It's kind of, I did a coaching call this morning. I'm like, to this woman, I'm like, pull back your scattered energy. Pull it back from where it's been and who it's been with, and pull it back. And that's what getting into your body does, and moving your body and exercising your body. It pulls back your energy into this space and makes you feel grounded and secure and safe in the vessel that's your body.
Yes.
And that boundary of I am worth this then ripples out everywhere. It's like a form of meditation. I've worked with so many women that are divorced women, that they're like, I can't control anything else in my world right now, but I can control the boundary that is this health and this body. And
oh my gosh, that's really powerful.
I can't control
powerful.
anything else. I can't control what he's doing, what's falling apart. You know, I'm getting emotional because this is what
I can feel it too. I'm feeling it. Yeah.
This is what drove me. I couldn't control. We can't anyway. We can only control our reactions to things. You know, we can't control our circumstances a lot of the time. They're being done to us, but how we react is really important. But like sometimes when you can't control anything else, the thing that you can control is your energy levels, your vitality, your self-care, your nurturing. Like, I am worth having that tonic in the morning. Oh, I am. You know, I'm worth moving my body, because if you're not doing that, what message are you sending out to the next guy that you are welcoming in? If you're not looking after your home, you're not going to, I believe you are not going to attract someone that's right for you if you're not nurturing yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Oh my God. Amen to that. Amen to that. And you're reminding me, hold on, do you know, you're going to have to give me a second. My cat.
You've got cats. It's an animal. It's an animal.
It's an animal. I will introduce you to the animal. And, but she's just 1 second and I'll tell you what she's up to.
Dinner? No, we're being naughty. No, we don't do that, do we? Come and say hello to everybody. Come and say hello. This is Luna.
Oh my goodness. She's just like that. Yes, I am precious. Yes, hello everyone. Hello.
I don't want to be here. I'm trying to leave the room, but Mummy's got the door closed. So what I'll do is rip up the carpet instead.
Naughty Luna.
Naughty Luna. Oh, sorry. Go on,
Lola,
then.
I've got a Pomeranian dog who's sat upstairs with Daddy, so she's out of the way. Otherwise, she'd be wanting to get in on the action as well, especially if she saw a cat.
Well, now my office door is open. The dog will probably come in.
Oh God, it's like a zoo. Like a zoo.
It's a menagerie.
Keeping it real.
We love it. Well, my dog and my cat literally are James and I didn't choose to have children together. We already had children and we didn't want to go through it again in the end, which was a big grieving process for me, and it was the right thing to do. So we have pets, and seriously, Luna and Boomer.
That's amazing. Of course,
Luna cat and Boomer dog. Boomer. They are our babies, and wouldn't have it any other way. But what you were speaking to then, you've just taken me back a little trip back in time to when, oh my God, nothing in my life was in control. I'd separated from my son's father. I didn't know myself at all, let alone love myself. I was suffering deep anxiety and depression. I was super vulnerable and didn't know how to be me. Like I needed to be with somebody to feel valued, lovable, worthy, significant, all the basic human needs. And so I went headlong straight into another relationship. I mean, I literally went on a first date 10 days after I left my son's father. ended up in a relationship with this guy for not quite a year, but near on a year. And it was very emotionally and mentally abusive. But, you know, when you don't know yourself and you're on the floor, you take the scraps that life offers you. I mean, I do not recognize myself back then. I don't recognize myself. But when that ended, and I was like, holy shit, I can't even make this dysfunctional relationship work. When that ended, I didn't have anywhere to live. I had no money in the bank. I didn't have a job. I mean, I was having that proper rock bottom experience, and
a dark night of the soul.
It was my dark night. I've had a few, I think.
So have I. When people say, "Oh, I had one," I had a dark night. I'm like, I've had millions. The universe just keeps throwing them at me.
Yeah, but this was a significant, like a particularly significant, poignant one, and actually, you know, I without telling my whole story now, there was a moment when I realized I had to learn to love myself.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what that looked like. But I knew that if I kept doing life the way I was, and I had this semblance of an idea that it had something to do with conditioning and programming. Like I didn't even know what that was, but somehow I knew, well, I think I've learned to do life one way. I have to learn how to do life a different way. And I had no clue where to begin. And I was utterly overwhelmed because I was moving house. I didn't know I was going to go live. I didn't have the job. I didn't have the money. I didn't even have a car. It was just me and my 2-year-old, and we're like, shit. But I had my self-care. And so when you were saying that became my focus. Yeah. It was all I could control is what I was putting into my body, going for countryside walks, breathing fresh air, having baths, meditating. That just choosing to focus on me, because at the time I was like, well, if I have to learn to love myself, then I'll just start taking better care of my body. Like that's just literally where I went.
That's exactly what I did, and that's exactly, you've hit it on the head. If I've got to learn how self-care, it's got to be this, because I'd already, oh my goodness, I'd been on this a spiritual, I hate that word because it doesn't really encapsulate what it is. I went on a massive self-growth journey and spiritual journey in my early 20s all the way into my 30s. I became an NLP practitioner, really young, a life coach at like 24. What? 24. No, I've done loads of life. And then I was doing business coaching. So I was doing all the coaching stuff, all the NLP stuff, all the stress. I was a stress management consultant. I was doing all that mind stuff. What I hadn't done, none of that was helping. So when I got to that stage, I was like, oh, I've got a toolkit. I'm going to sit here and try and meditate. Nope. Okay, that's not working. Okay, I'm going to go on another retreat. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. None of it worked until I started moving my body and feeding it in a loving, caring way.
Yeah. And
then all the other practices started coming back in, and they were, but you know, I was trying to do these practices whilst I was, you know, not literally at the same time, piling down the wine, going and having inappropriate rendezvous. That was, you know, all of that stuff. I wasn't honoring the divine feminine that I am. I wasn't honoring my body at all.
Yeah.
So what was I expecting was going to be in the external?
Yeah.
Not honoring.
Yeah. We need both, and it's a beautiful place to start. We need all of it. So we need to be, the home of the feminine is the body. We need to be taking care of our body in all the ways you've begun to suggest, and I know it's a 5-day masterclass on all the ways. Yeah, we're really scratching the surface. And then it is taking care, it's your emotional mastery and doing the healing work that's required. It is your mindset. It is mental mastery. It is noticing your belief systems and switching them up. And it is your spiritual connection. It's like all these pieces. We do need all of it. It's definitely not a one-stop shop. But, you know, to call in Soulmate Love, it is an inner journey. It is. There's all the tips and tricks and tools when it comes to dating online and how to send the perfect text. Like that's all good. It's helpful, but it's not like
icing.
Is. Yeah.
It's icing. The stuff you do. The stuff you do when you say, like, you call, but I like wine.
So do I, Sarah. So do I.
Wine is all right as long as it's in small doses and you're not using it to numb. That's another thing, you know.
Right.
God, like how much was I just numbing? You just don't want to feel. So I just keep drinking. It's like all addictions, right? But what you say about like calling in is such a shift in energy when you call it in, but you're calling it in from that place of power in mind, body, soul, emotions. When you're calling it in from that place, like, I am enough. I am enough. You're literally consciously going, I'm calling it in. Calling it in. And you can feel the difference. You can feel the energy shift in a fear-based place or a power-based place.
Yeah.
So I love, you know, it resonates with me so deeply, because I think you're teaching women how to do it, not how to do it, but like guiding them and supporting them in a kind of in a conscious way. I think for me, I didn't really know what I was doing. If I'd have met someone like you, I'd have been, and I did, when I heard, I was like, oh, that's what I was doing. That's what Katie's teaching. That's what I was doing. But I was energetically calling it in.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what Sarah got to say. Thankfully, I don't do the numbing part, only in moderation. Yeah. I mean, do you know, it's interesting. So I don't drink to numb out now, but I remember when my son was very little, I would have to have, I'm not ashamed to say it, but I was ashamed at the time, I would have to have half a glass of wine to be able to face bath time. If I was going to get through bath, dinner, bedtime, because my anxiety levels were so high and I was doing it on my own, and the only way I could get through the neediness of a 2, 3, 4-year-old, and quite rightly, he was a child. He was needy. He needed stuff. He needed taken care of. He needed putting in and out of the bath. He needed feeding. He needed a bedtime story. I was so depleted myself on every level. The only way I could get through it was a half a glass of wine, just to take the edge off. I'll never forget first telling people I did something called the Hoffman process.
Yes,
that was one of the. Do you know the Hoffman?
Yeah.
So I did that. I don't know how many years ago that was now. 12, I suppose. And I will just never forget, in a group situation, saying I need a little glass of wine to get through the evening routine, and I was in pieces. I was so ashamed of myself that I was that mother. But it was a huge relief to say it out loud, and
well, you know, the work that you do, you'd have seen this a lot. I mean, I see that all the time. You know, I would say a majority of the women that I work with, not a majority, I would say a lot of women use wine as a crutch. As that, you know, but also it's just so habitual. It is so habitual, and then it becomes ingrained, and then it's a belief system, then it's a story. I can't unwind without it. You know, the pet next door dies, I have a glass of wine in commiserations. You know, oh, it's been a great day, I'll have a glass of wine. Everything then becomes a ritual around wine o'clock, and then it gets earlier and earlier and earlier. And one of the things I love about the work that I do is helping women understand why that's massively impacting their anxiety, while it's doing the complete opposite of what they're trying to do, which is trying to face stuff. But actually the gut health, the issues, the depression, the anxiety, the hormones imbalances that it causes at midlife, it's doing the complete opposite of what you want it to be doing, to take the edge off. But the repercussions of that are long lasting. But a glass of wine at the weekend, you know, a couple of nights, it's fine. It's just when, you know, I did a live interview with someone that I worked with recently, and she was amazing. I mean, she was drinking a bottle of wine a night.
Wow.
completely functioning on it, on it.
Yeah.
But she wanted to reduce that. So that's what we've helped her to do is put a wine witch in the cupboard and then just moderate it, because she has awareness of what it was doing to her body. And we worked on the self-love. So if you love yourself like this, and you know you're doing this to your body, they don't match. So either your behavior has to change or your belief system needs to change, because they're incongruent. So what are we going to do here?
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to dive in and change up your habits and behaviors, isn't it?
Yeah. And I love Atomic Habits. So we read the book by can't remember what the author's name is now. Atomic Habits is a really, really, really good book. So if you're struggling with building new habits and things, have a read of that book. It's one of the ones I recommend to clients, because it kind of beds in what I do with them around their like unhealthy habits. It's a really good book.
Yeah, cool. Okay, love a good book recommendation. Darling, we're going to have to wrap up, because believe it or not, I am in the middle of running my 5-day Meet Your Soulmate challenge, and I have clients and people waiting for me to get back to them. So thank you so much for being with me today.
I've loved it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love connecting. It's just so wonderful, isn't it? Another great thing about tech.
I know, exactly. How can people find you, my love?
Go to themidlifementors.com. So that's our website, themidlifementors.com. And on Instagram, we are at Midlife Mentors. Couldn't get very annoying. Damn it. So on Instagram, we're at Midlife Mentors. And yes, just go to themidlifementors.com and you'll find our podcast. Our podcast is in the top 2% of global podcasts. Woo! So that's amazing. We've been doing that for years now, and it's just a bit of fun. But yeah, we've got lots of interviews. We're going to have you on.
Yes.
We'll have you on. Can't wait to have you on. So yeah, go and check out our podcast, the Midlife Mentors podcast. That's it, I think.
Awesome. And enjoy Marbella. I'm so inspired that you guys managed to move between the two spaces. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's with the way the world is at the moment, it's been a challenge, but you know, you've got to mix it up. Go outside your comfort zone.
Yeah. How did you fly down, or did you take
No, because of our fluff ball fur baby. We took a 2-day ferry and then drove across Spain. But we're used to doing that because we used to live in Ibiza, so the journey was a lot longer when we used to live in Ibiza.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, keep sending the sunshine back to us.
I will. I'll keep making everyone really jealous with more sunrise shots. Everyone's like that.
Please.
You're not my friend anymore.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love being inspired. My besties live in Bali, and I'm like, please just keep sending me photos because it's inspiring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, Katie, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I love talking to you. It's really helpful.
Love being here. Can't wait to have you on our podcast as well.
Yes, me too. Thank you.
Sending lots of love. Bye.
Thank you. And goodbye, everybody. Thanks for joining
us.
I'll
Thank you so much.
Next Wednesday.
Bye. Bye.